Hi, my name is Betty. I'm from Indonesia. I just finished my PhD at the Center for Energy, Petroleum, Mineral Law and Policy, University of Dundee. So before I start talking about my PhD, I would like to give you a quick tour in this area so you can have a look around the surrounding area of the center. So as I said before, I just graduated from my PhD and I'll be graduating at the end of this month. Of course, there will be no graduation ceremony here or anywhere in the world because of the coronavirus, but it doesn't stop me to be graduating from my PhD. Well, talking about my PhD, so my PhD is more about the fiscal regimes that applies to coal bed methane back home in my country, Indonesia. And I compare these fiscal regimes to the US fiscal regimes and the Australian fiscal regime. The main reason that I'm doing this PhD is because I was looking at the CBM project development in Indonesia. It's been there since 2008, but there is no development, there is no production that comes from the CBM project. So I investigated before I started my PhD. That's one of the main reasons is because of the fiscal regime. In my PhD, I had the opportunity to conduct interviews, focus group discussion, FGD, and the local community survey in Indonesia. And as a result of this data collection, interviews, FGD, and the local community survey, I identified some challenges in the CBM development in Indonesia. So the challenges are coming from the government, investors themselves, local community, and also the fiscal policy and the regulation and the technical of the CBM itself. To address these challenges, I modified the fiscal regime PAC that applies to CBM in Indonesia by adopting some fiscal terms from the US royalty tax and from Australia the petroleum resource rent tax. An example of the finding on my thesis is that I proposed modification in the PSC in Indonesia to actually apply the local tax that is applied in the US royalty tax system. So the US royalty tax system has a term called local tax, which is the severance tax or ad valorem tax. So this tax is paid to the state government rather to the federal government. And this payment is made before the deduction. So there is no profits made, but the investor still needs to pay the local tax to the state government. However, the amount of the percentage of the local tax is not as high as the corporate income tax. It can be just 1%, 0.6% of the net revenue after royalty. For adopting this is to deal with the local community development. So when a project in a region, in an area, provide direct benefits to the local community and they develop the infrastructure in the local community by having the financial contribution, it's more likely that the local community will support rather than creating a problem for the project in that area. Findings in my thesis, but I don't have much time to share with you. But next time when I have my papers published, I will share it with you and I'll be in touch with you. What amazed me of doing a PhD is the opportunities that being offered to you during your PhD. To Trinidad and Tobago for presenting the work with the UN, and I went to Canada for presenting my work with the International Association for Energy Economics. I went to Poland and presenting the work for the Society of Petroleum Engineers. And I just came back from Germany. I did a project with one of the university in Germany, and I've become a visiting lecturer in Mozambique. You're going to enjoy the webinar that you are going to have today with your PhD colleagues, and I hope you can make the most of your PhD journey wherever you are and get the same opportunities that I've got in a different way and enjoy your PhD as much as you can. Thank you.